Re-elect Leah Patterson Lust, probate judge.
The probate judge has hearings to determine guardianship and conservatorship, adoptions, psychiatric commitments, and to settle all estates. 480 adoption hearings. I have held almost 2,500 hearings for probate cases.
Visit Glover's Plants and Produce as they celebrate autumn. Come see an autumn colorscape of beauty. Our prices are so low it's scary. When you shop at Glover's, you'll see many of your friends saving money too. Eat healthy with fresh fruits and vegetables for your family, while you pay less and get more. Shop Glover's autumn selection of beautiful mums and other fall flowers. At Glover's Plants and Produce, hurry in now.
Given a battle throughout the evening on homecoming, the Hanson Bulldogs rose to the challenge in coming from behind to knock off the Danville Hawks 28-24. Hanson led 13-10 at halftime thanks to 2 rushing touchdowns by tailback Torrey Green. Green gained 115 yards on 7 carries in the opening half, scoring on runs of 42 and 35 yards. Danville took the second half kickoff and moved in front 17-13 when the Hawks drove 74 yards in 6 plays. The key play was a 69-yard pass from Justin Morgan to Jason Haynes that set up Morgan's 1-yard plunge. Morgan scored on another 1-yard run, this one with 6:05 to play in the game that gave Danville a 24-13 lead. It was time for Danny Miller's Bulldogs to rally. Green scored on the 5-yard run with 5:22 to play and added a 2-point conversion to narrow the deficit to 24-21. Hansel got the ball back at his 23 with 2:09 remaining. Caleb Hurst completed 4 of 5 passes in the game-winning drive as he found Dante Reese open in the end zone from 12 yards out with only 27 seconds remaining. Bronte Harris sealed up Hansel's 5th straight victory when he picked off a Morgan pass 1 play following the kickoff. The Bulldogs moved into a 3-way tie for second place with the Vineman Eagles and Winston County Yellow Jackets following their victory. All are 4-2 in 3A Region 7 with 1 game left in the regional schedule. Hansel gets Cordova next week at Ray Talley Stadium in search of its 6th victory. The final score on homecoming Friday night, the Hanson Bulldogs 28, the Danville Hawks 24. Week number 9 of the regular season will be Friday night when all teams in the county play at home. One of the big games will be number 1 ranked Mosa Shows and the Coleman Bearcats from Woodard Stadium for the 5A Region 8 Championship. The Crossville Lions come to Dapper Smith Stadium to take on the Fairview Aggies. The Aggies looking to finish second in Class 4A Region 6. The Cordova Blue Devils invade Ray Talley Stadium to take on the Hanson Bulldogs, who are in search of their 6th consecutive win. Winston County comes to Vineman to take on the Eagles, who are 6-2 in second-year coach Alan Scott's tenure at Vineman High School. East Limestone visits the West Point Warriors in 5A Region 8. The Plainview Bears come from DeKalb County to face the Holly Pump Broncos. The Winfield Pirates are at James Shavel Stadium to meet the Good Up Raiders. And the Oakland Wildcats, the leaders in Class 2A Region 4, head to Cranford Strickland Stadium to take on the Cold Spring Eagles.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add Vanishing Deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
Oden's Auto Glass is your professional glass replacement center. They replace auto and truck windows, windshields, and mirrors using plexiglass or window glass. Oden's Auto Glass has a roomy service bay for regular vehicles and a large service shop for larger vehicles like trucks, buses, RVs, and industrial equipment. They also do furniture mirror glass replacement. All work is professional in every detail. Oden's Auto Glass, Highway 31 north of Coleman.
Today's obituaries are brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Funeral services for Mr. Randy Lee Aaron, age 61 of Hansville, will be at 2 p.m. today at Mount Joy Baptist Church. Interment will follow in the adjoining cemetery with Reverend Mike Lansford officiating. Moss Service Funeral Home of Coleman directing. Mr. Aaron passed away at BMC Princeton Hospital in Birmingham. Funeral services for Bonnie Virginia Pitts, age 77 of Coleman, will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Hansville Funeral Home Chapel. Interment in Blunt Memory Gardens Cemetery. Hansville Funeral Home is directing. Ms. Pitts passed away on Monday. And those are our obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Wednesday, 24th day of October. Another beautiful day.
Gorgeous.
Enjoy the next day or two. It's going to change on the weekend.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with the weather. Brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet of Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Almanac for the 24th of October. The average high, 73. The average low, 43. The record high, 87. 1963. A lot of threes up there, too. The record low, 23 degrees back in 1937. Sunrise this morning, straight up at 7 o'clock. Sunset this evening, 2 minutes after 6. There's the satellite picture, and I think you've been talking the last couple of days about snow in the Rocky Mountains. And our part of the country, it looks pretty nice. There you can see the satellite picture over the southeast. And here's our forecast. Sunny again today, a high of 79. Clear tonight, low of 52. Sunny tomorrow, a high of 78. Friday, a slight chance of rain, high of 74. But look at Saturday, high of 61 on Saturday. Sunday, a high of 59. See what the low temperatures are those mornings. Low temperature Sunday morning, 40. Monday morning, 38. Tuesday morning, 37.
Okay, so we get that, some of that stuff that's out in the west is coming our way.
Evidently, there's a cold front. The jet stream is moving south or something like that. So anyway, enjoy today and tomorrow. 2 more beautiful days. Oh, great weather.
Gorgeous fall. You think Iowa will be getting snow pretty soon?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yep. Definitely.
I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned yesterday you had gone to Chattanooga over the weekend by boat. We went through Chattanooga by car, went to a wedding in Virginia, and as you talked about, the fall foliage is just gorgeous in that part of the country.
Really pretty.
And especially up in Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains and so forth.
Because they even have more color, right? I mean, the farther north you go.
Right, you get the bright reds and yellows, and you don't have the pine trees, so you don't have all the green mixed in.
Right.
But beautiful, beautiful country. Went to a wedding. This was a destination wedding. You've been to those.
Yes.
That took place in a winery overlooking a valley. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful area. But the reason I wanted to bring it up, in the wedding service, there was no mention of God.
Really?
No mention of God.
Wow.
There was no prayer.
Oh.
The person conducting the wedding, I'm sure, was not an ordained minister.
Oh, okay.
It's a different world.
Yeah, yeah.
Different world out there. Our guest today is Dr. Howard Rogers. We should talk about this, about weddings that God has left out of the service.
Or Democratic conventions that God
well, that's true.
left out.
True that was.
Sorry, I had to mention it. Gee, you know.
Well, yeah.
You know, you were talking yesterday about how in the South, especially in Coleman, we are very sheltered.
We are.
We really are. The majority of the people here are Christians. You can profess your Christianity to people. Nobody gets offended. That kind of stuff. We love thy neighbor. We generally get along. That kind of thing. But you go outside of our big circle, and you kind of realize, and you've done traveling in Iowa and wherever, and it's just like the rest of the country doesn't necessarily feel the same way we do, and it's just amazing. Yeah, it is just amazing, and to me. It saddens me. It really does. I could not have imagined 10 years ago, just 10 years ago, that we would be sitting here discussing certain things like this, like marriage between a man and a woman is no longer sacred. I mean, like, oh, okay. There's just some things out there that I just don't understand. No. I just don't get it, and I'm worried for my grandson. Mm-hmm. I'm worried, what kind of a world is he growing up in? I'm befuddled. Mm-hmm. Would you have said 10 years ago that we would be, concerned about this kind of stuff right now?
No.
No.
And
God and our church, and we have got to wake up. I'm going to get on my little soapbox. You guys got to go vote. We have got to understand that this is the most critical election of our time, for sure. But I think in the history of the United States, I really do, because I really think that things have changed so far to the left that if we don't watch it, we are going to wake up one of these days and we're not going to be allowed to go to church. We're not going to be allowed to be Christians anymore. It's going to be to where we're at the point where we're the ones that are being persecuted. We're already being persecuted. If you look at it, we are. And if we don't stand up for it right now and do something about it right now, we're going to all go, gosh, I had no idea. So,
very well could be.
My little soapbox.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's check our Facebook friend of the day. Who's our friend today?
Finders Keepers. And that's a great little shop just around the corner from us. And they do a great job. They have all kinds of little arts and craft individuals that do arts and crafts or antiques or whatever, but they sell it right out of their store. I forget how many booth space they have. They have quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, so. But anyway, if you haven't been in there, you need to go in there because it's several floors and it's just really a neat place. And Jackie Cook Porter, who used to actually co-host Today on 2 show, is she and her son kind of own and operate
Wayne.
that. So Wayne Cook. So anyway, go over there, go visit them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Our guest today, we already gave you a little preview about that.
Dr. Howard Rogers, and of course he comes on monthly, so he surprises us each month with the topic that he wants to talk about. So hopefully he won't talk politics, and I'll be quiet, and I won't go on to my little soapbox anymore. But also Paige and I are going to do our little arts and crafts today, so thought we would bring you just each week a little something different about what you can do. Simple little things for Halloween to decorate, or to food to prepare, or to have fun with your kids.
Maybe Dr. Rogers will get on his soapbox.
Maybe so. He can do that too, I know he can.
Okay. Coming up next, George Spear with news and commentary right after this.
There's something about the moment when you first walk into that new home. It took a lot to get there, but Eva Bank made it easy to get the loan you needed. Eva Bank, as a part of the community, makes lending decisions right here where you live. Our lenders make the process quick and easy with rates you'll love. Visit your neighbors at Eva Bank today and let them help you with your new home loan, manufactured home, refinance, or remodel. Eva Bank, part of the community we call home.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
Premier Bank is asking for your vote. We want to be your bank. Our platform is simple, service that no other bank can offer. We're locally owned and operated, and that means we make decisions right here. So vote today for Mom, Apple Pie, and Premier Bank. I'm Jay Mullins, and I approve this message.
I designated myself and one cell phone number. The cell phone number that I have is the one contact number that is available for the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, Coleman Regional Medical Center, and any individual that is in need of contact with the probate office for psychiatric commitments after hours on holidays and weekends.
The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for President, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for President of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
Okay, time for news and comment. If you'd like to share your thoughts on some of the things we're talking about this morning, you give us a call, and don't forget we're streaming live at channel2coleman.com. News-wise, locally, not a whole lot going on, except for over the weekend there was a meth bust. Had a lab going in Fuller Apartments, apparently, this weekend. That's off Warnke Road, a couple of people arrested, and with a meth lab there. The County Commission in Coleman has decided to participate in future statewide sales tax holidays for severe weather preparedness. In other words, we're talking about buying weather radios and that kind of thing. They basically are saying, at least according to the Coleman County Sales Tax Enforcement Director, Chris King, says that in the upcoming years, the holiday will be the last weekend in February. So I just wonder how many weather radios and things like that are purchased. Of course, batteries are included, of course, you know. Things involved with surviving something like we went through April 27th of last year. But again, I wonder just how many people are participating in that. You know, and it's not easy nowadays. Whenever you buy a weather radio or a wristwatch, you have to have an understanding of certain sequences and steps you take to program something. And those weather radios, they're not as bad as the new digital scanners that you buy, and you have to figure out how to program them. But a digital radio, you know, you can choose at least one medium range price. You can choose what kind of warnings to receive. If you say, I want a thunderstorm warning and not a watch, you know, or thereabouts, the thing keeps constantly going off because the watches keep coming and going, and it's difficult trying to get a good night's sleep when that thing's going off throughout the night. But then you consider what happened on April 27th, I guess, and it's a small price to pay in all consideration. Another thing this morning, the lead story is something that was dealt with yesterday by the Coleman Times. Now, I don't know why they want to delve into this again. Nothing new in this story, talking about the Hanceville football coach being reprimanded for his behavior and comments to some of the team members. You know, the man is being reprimanded. He's going to have to go through sensitivity training and such as that. And I think sometimes sensationalism is the one thing that always floats to the top when it comes to concerns for what you're going to put in a local paper. At least the editorial staff considers it that. But it's already been dealt with, right? And likewise, a few days ago, there was a story about scouting. I mean, the headline in the Coleman Times, the main lead sentence said, another dark secret in a respected American institution is being brought to light, much to the horror of people across the nation. Now, this was a local slant, but there was no local slant, because I don't know of a case where young boys have been abused. Again, that sensational factor, I think, coming into play. Anything to grab a headline, you know, and that's the thing I don't like. And television is just as guilty, you know, in doing that. Oh, well.
Hartselle, some of you know off of Interstate 65 at Thompson Road in the Hartselle area, this that Copeland building there, that's a factory. That's been sold. I guess they're bringing in about 200 people to work. It's going to be another one of those parts kind of operations, making parts for vehicles, right? So they're hoping to set that up. So we're becoming a hub of activity in Cullman, at least in our general vicinity, for making car parts and such. Hartselle City Attorney Larry Madison submitting a draft of the Hartselle Alcohol Beverage Ordinance, getting ready for the November 6th election, whenever that issue, wet or dry, is decided by Hartselle voters. They're trying to prepare, get ready, and they're making a lot of the same changes and designing their ordinance based on Cullman's. Now, what's interesting about the story is if it goes wet, they say the main amendment is there's one major difference between us and them. And I looked at the amendment that they're talking about, and I couldn't see a difference. They said the main amendment is that we cannot exclude lounges if the ABC board approves them, but you can zone them. You can make it very difficult. I thought that was the way it was in Cullman, but apparently not, because they're using that as the exception to the rule when it comes to comparing their ordinance to what Cullman has. Eliza Coffey Memorial Hospital in Florence has received medicine, this tainted steroid medicine that's causing all these deaths and all across the nation. That's no big story because there was a list of facilities, hospitals that received that steroid, that serum, and Cullman Regional Medical Center was one of them. But the story here coming out of Florence is that the hospital now must alert patients to warn them of the connection. Now, if that holds true for Eliza Coffey Memorial Hospital in Florence, it stands to reason that CRMC would be affected. But we've not heard anything yay or nay in that regard. I've not even seen a local story about it. And I don't think anyone's heard from this, but it is an issue. If there's a death, it's an issue, right? Especially if you've received the same kind of a treatment. Mitt Romney's son, Tag Romney, apologizing, told a radio interviewer it made him angry when Obama questioned his father's honesty. Said he'd basically want to rush down to the debate stage and take a swing at him. Politics, it's such a full contact sport, and it's certainly no greater situation or example than presidential politics and that kind of thing. Associated Press reporting candidates are now going to put on the pressure buying more television. I mean, upwards of $2 billion, that's with a B, $1 billion worth of advertising between the two candidates, as though there's not enough already. Now, we don't see a lot of it in Alabama because we're not at the top of the list. Some of those other states like Ohio, and if you're like me, you sometimes wonder, how is it all of a sudden they're so important, and Iowa and some of those other places. But that's where they've been deluged with presidential politics to begin with and spots, but now it's going to get tighter apparently. A two-year-long investigation by this organization known as Investigative Project on Terrorism has found that scores of known radical Islamists made hundreds of visits to the Obama White House. And we're so desensitized that some will say, so what? Well, what? Hello? Is this not something that we should be concerned about? And the mainstream media is not going to do a thing about it. They're not going to talk about it. It's going to take these dreaded people on Drudge Report, or those bozos at Fox to cover it. Hello? Yes? Thank goodness somebody's reporting it, And why is that not an issue among voters? Why not? In Fort Collins, Colorado, GOP there is upset. They say early voting is underway, yes, but the Republicans are saying the Democrats are offering free pizza and a T-shirt outside the voting headquarters or the poll place to people who will vote for Obama. Anyone who goes to vote and is going to be swayed by a pizza and a T-shirt, I doubt those people even show up to vote, okay? But I can understand the concern by those people. Today, Donald Trump claiming he's unearthed some evidence. Some people speculating what it really is
One particular insider says it has to deal with possible divorce proceedings between him and Michelle that occurred some time back. I can't imagine that having a great impact on this election, but something tells me it may be something else, you know, most likely something else. But again, we'll find out at the end of the day whenever they get finished with all that. By the way, and it's always, some of the strangest stories from the medical world comes from places like New Zealand or Britain or some other place, which sometimes we tend to question. I thought this was interesting, though. This new research suggests that the phenomenon of premenstrual syndrome, known more as PMS, may not occur the way many have thought over the years. Husbands? Researchers working under the direction of Dr. Sarah Romans of the University of something in New Zealand say that studies show that it doesn't really happen. What do you think, guys? I know. You take the fifth on that one, don't you? more. Yeah, well, ask Howard when Howard comes on. More of Today on 2 after this.
Fire, accident, storm, they all happen in Cullman County. And for 3 generations, Night Free Insurance has been there for you. Continuing today with Elliott and Westcott Free, customizing your life, home, auto, and business insurance with auto owners. Call Westcott, Elliott, Judy, Tina, Angie, or Karen. Night Free Insurance, where people are the difference. The Cullman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse, November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for president, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for president of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Cullman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Cullman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Cullman County Republican Party.
If you're looking for the ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from 2 big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add Vanishing Deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
We continue with Today on 2. Our guest today, Dr. Howard Rogers from the Baldwin Counseling Center. Dr. Rogers, good morning.
How are we?
We're good.
Good.
We're great.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the basis of most humor is usually tragedy.
It is.
So this is why we've been laughing a lot about what goes on today. Howard, what are we going to talk about today?
Let's talk about Halloween and taking the howl out of Halloween.
The howl
out of Halloween.
Yeah. I think we've gone too far with the goblins and the Grinches and the monsters and the Frankensteins. Halloween used to just be fun.
And so now you think
fun.
it's just too much horror involved?
I think there's too much horror. That there's too many Freddys and too many goblins and too many barns that are portraying the devil and too many other institutions that are making Halloween into something that's just really scary and frightening, and these kids are going through trying to figure out, okay, what is real? Halloween is not real.
Wasn't it Hallows Eve?
Hallows Eve.
And wasn't it the day before All Saints Day? So it was kind of like, well, the All Saints Day was sort of a, you went, that's when in the South Louisiana.
A celebration of the dead.
Right, and that's when we would put flowers on everybody's grave. I know here in Alabama they do it in May for Decoration Day, but so that's kind of where this all started.
It all started that way, and it has evolved into what we have today. I know the churches, or some of them, the Reformed churches, still celebrate All Saints Eve, and they may bring white lilies or something to the church in celebration of the people who have died, and we've evolved into God only knows what. I'm not sure what we're doing with Halloween. Are we scaring people and we think that's funny? Dante did, but you know.
But you look back at Halloween when we were youngsters, you had ghosts and skeletons, goblins. That was scary.
It was scary, but if you put it in context, the ghost we had, everyone knew that they were not real because it was a sheet or something. It was a simple approach to it. But with the technology and the pyrotechnology and all of that, those places are getting scary.
Well, some of the, like the little mazes that you can go through, or the fright houses or whatever, they really do try. You want to get your money's worth, so they want to make you really scared.
But that might be okay if we can put it in context. But I'm not sure we're doing that with kids when they're getting halfway through and getting scared and needing to come out.
Can't go on anymore.
They can't go on. And what is that doing to us emotionally? We are looking at tragedy. Now, Divine Comedy was somewhat of a tragedy, but everyone knew in those days when Dante was writing, when Homer was writing, that a tragedy or a comedy was something that was put together in order for people to come together in the theater and have fun. It was a play, a presentation. And now we have taken tragedy entirely too far, and there is a certain play off of having tragedy as something that ends up being funny in the end. But with them, all the characters came back on the stage after it was over, and they got their rounds of applause and all of that. But now we're doing things that I think emotionally is just unheard of for our children growing up. And if you look at the way they are developing emotionally, I mean, they're frustrated, they're stressed, they're depressed, and you see more and more antidepressant ads now. These are now okayed for prescribing to younger people. Why in the name of heaven do we need antidepressants for young kids if we're doing parenting the way we should, and if we're teaching them that good fun is good fun, but they don't understand that. They don't know.
Suicide rate has gone up
Suicide
too,
rate
young
is
teenagers, right?
Especially in the 18, 19-year-old. One of the highest suicide rates is among teenagers, teenagers and older men. So why are teenagers having that? We're not doing something right. And I think Halloween and other aspects of things we do now are just things we need to rethink. We need to revisit. We had fun at Halloween. I did. We went from house to house, both of them in our neighborhood. We went to those houses. And you got a popcorn ball or a candied apple or you know, something very simple. But now the kids are going out to scary places, and chainsaws being started and revved up, and I don't think we're doing our kids favors by the things we're doing. And the movies, I don't know, I can truthfully say I've never watched a horror movie. And I can almost assure you that I never will, because I don't see it. I'm a Pollyanna. I want all my movies to end really well and happy, and everybody just be friendly and get along. Absolutely. Oh, wouldn't that be great? But they're not watching those movies now, and I'm seeing that there is an emotional effect it's having on the children, and I think we need to take the howl out of Halloween and go back to, okay, let's have fun, let's be friendly, and kids now are scared to go to their neighbor's house. Some of that's justified. So how do we change that so they can have a fun time at Halloween instead of being emotionally scarred by some of the movies and some of the things that happen and being scared of their neighbors? We could get on our soapbox about neighbors and things that happen. But, you know.
Don't you think that... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think some people are doing something. We have an advertiser at Steel Orchard. They're doing the Boogeyman Barn, and they made it very clear. This is not bloody gory. Yes, it's scary, but bring the kids, bring a church group. It's family-oriented because they've taken all that blood and gore out of it.
Right.
And going back to what you're talking about, okay, so you're scared a little here, but not terrified.
Right, exactly, exactly. And I think that the churches are doing, we were just talking about this trunk or treat. I think a lot of churches are not in favor of Halloween and all that it represents, so they're doing fall festivals.
Right.
And they're opening it up so the kids can come and go from trunk to trunk, you know, car to car, and get their little candies and stuff and have a good time, and they'll have games and things like that. So really, you're recommending that people take their children to these types of venues rather than the really scary things.
And there's a limit on the costumes that they can wear also.
Right.
You don't get into the really scary kind of things. You do Superman and Princess.
Well, in fact, the other day I found an adorable costume for Logan, a Cracker Barrel no less, and it's a dragon, you know, and it's got the little headpiece with the little Velcro, and he's got a little tail in the back, and it's bright green, and it's real colorful, it's real cute. So there are some out there that, especially for that age, you know, he's just under 2, that, you know, that are really kind of cool, that are fun, you know, but I think you're right that we have kind of gotten into this blood and gut and gore kind of stuff. It just makes it very...
And it has to have an emotional effect in the long run on the children. And they have enough difficulties now in the real world that we don't need to bring in the horror of Halloween to scare them more so that they can really have difficulties in life. Our teenagers now are living the result of all of those years, and you think it don't? It just doesn't bother them? Yes, it does.
Well, you mentioned the movies, which is popular. But the video games also can be the same kind of thing. But Howard, you alluded to it. I agree with this. This is part of parenting too.
Absolutely,
is to say no. This is not proper for my children.
Right. I can remember as a child, I went to see this movie. I must have been maybe 12 or I don't know how old I was. I don't even remember now. But it was called The Triffids, and I'd never seen this. But these plants came to life. And I had nightmares about that crazy, and that wasn't even blood and gore. But that scared the bejeebies out of me, and for days, and I would go and sleep in my parents' bedroom on the floor, you know, because I knew I really wasn't supposed to. But I was scared to death, and that was, you know. So you're right; it does affect you.
But think about this too. What's the difference? We watched Frankenstein. We watched Dracula. Was that any different than what the
I think it was different
today?
Because it wasn't portrayed as being real. It was a movie, and Frankenstein was built, and he had his weak spots, and he wasn't immortal, and he couldn't come back. And
we knew it was a fantasy.
It was a fantasy.
And then came Psycho. And that changed it all.
That did.
Because then we knew this was real.
That's right. That's right.
And it evolves from there.
All of his movies.
It will be interesting to see, because 2 of my classes in English are doing a research paper on the evolution of horror stories. And it will be interesting to see what some of them determine as to how it has started out and how it's ended up. But we see the trend there. It's getting worse and worse and worse, and the blood looks actually like real blood now. It's raspberry Kool-Aid and Jell-O, from what they tell me, or jam. It looks really real, and the technology that they're using to make it look like they're cutting, and it's unbelievable.
Well, TV and everything that it can do with computers and so forth, it's very
and little
realistic.
kids are sitting there going,
I
don't want to watch this. So if we can take the howl out of Halloween and get back to the fun of Halloween, just good, clean fun. As I mentioned earlier, let's go out and tip over a couple of outhouses.
And then I told you we don't have any more, so that's kind of hard to do.
Well, soaping windows.
That used to be a big thing
when I was a kid.
Soaping windows. Never heard of that. What would you do?
Soap windows of somebody's house or their car.
You take a bar of soap.
Bar of soap.
Okay, I'm thinking soap and water, bubbles. I'm thinking, really? That's
soap and bath. Get out there and wash it
off, and no damage was caused. But that was a big deal.
Huh, okay, hadn't thought about that. Oh gosh, you just gave those kids out there a whole new idea. Soaping windows.
I remember one time when it was Halloween night, my dad and I are watching TV, and there's a knock on the picture window. And Dad pulls the curtains aside, and all you can see is a hand with a bar of soap. You couldn't see the person. So, of course, by the time my dad runs outside, that person
Gone.
Right, long gone. Yeah.
And your dad was a coach, wasn't he?
Well, he was the school principal at that
Oh,
time,
okay.
so
Wow.
we always got picked on.
Yeah, I bet you did.
But it was harmless,
Right.
harmless kind of things.
No damage physically, emotionally, or
No.
anything.
Well, in
My
West,
dad would say, "Now, Dennis, tomorrow go out and wash the window."
right. Well, in Westlake, the big deal now is rolling with toilet tissue in the trees, and that does kind of leave you a mess.
It does,
But really, basically, that's not too harmful either.
Rolling, and have you heard of forking?
No.
They get really cheap forks, and they drive them in the yard,
Oh.
and you can't get to them without stepping on them. And if you run out in your bare feet,
Oh,
they fork a yard.
That sounds pretty vicious, really.
It does. I thought, why would you just sticking forks in people's
Oh, my
yards?
goodness. Well, that's a new thing I hadn't heard about, so.
So be careful if you go out. Your yard may be forked.
That's true.
You say that slowly and carefully.
Yes, you be careful about how you say that, especially on air. Oh, goodness. Well, I guess if anybody has any other phobias or anything like that, they can visit you.
Absolutely.
You can help them get rid of those.
737-3087.
Very good. Dr. Howard Rogers with Baldwin Counseling Center.
Thank you for having me.
Dealing with one problem at a time.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Stay tuned. We have more coming up right after this.
Premier Bank is asking for your vote. We want to be your bank. Our platform is simple, service that no other bank can offer. We're locally owned and operated, and that means we make decisions right here. So vote today for Mom, Apple Pie, and Premier Bank. I'm Jay Mullins, and I approve this message.
Children are the future of Coleman County. As a parent and grandparent, I understand the importance of their protection. As your probate judge, I will hear all cases involving our children with a caring heart for them to achieve the success they deserve.
Adoptions and conservatorships require a detailed knowledge of the law and a heart for children. Tammy Brown has both. That's why we're asking you.
November 6th, vote for Tammy Brown!
If you're looking for the ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals to low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse, November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for president, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for president of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
Welcome back to Today on 2. It's time to give away some prizes. Let's see what we have. We have the assorted bag of apples from Steel Orchard. We have the day pass to the Wellness and Aquatic Center. Those are the prizes for today. Let's look at our merchant ads. We'll ask a question about one of these ads. We start with Mr. Plumber, Coleman's only professional full-service plumbing, sewer, and drain company, locally owned and operated by Adam Burgess. That's Mr. Plumber.
And Mr. Hicks Menswear, business, men's suits and sport coats in regular sizes, big and tall sizes for those hard-to-fit guys. Reader's Choice Award winner for men's clothing, and that's located at 217 Compass Way.
You're in good hands with Sorelli at Doug Dogga Jewelers. Sorelli is the antique-inspired heirloom jewelry. That's why you shop at Doug Dogga Jewelers on Compass Way, Southwest Coleman.
And the Uniform Place, fabulous fall fashions available, inspired new looks for style at work, more complete outfits and flexible styles than ever before. The Uniform Place at 300 2nd Avenue Southeast.
And Tires for Less. It's more than just tires. They can repair or replace shocks and brakes. They do oil changes, minor engine repair. Mentioned you saw the ad on Channel 2. They give you $5 off an oil change.
And the crew at Earl's Body Shop reminds you to move over for all those emergency vehicles. That's such a good tip. And, of course, they do have a 24-hour wrecker service along with their body shop. Large and small towing available, local or long distance, Earl's Body Shop.
Tutor Doctor, we make house calls. Worried about your grades? Call the Tutor Doctor or go on the internet, inhometutors-alabama.com. They offer free consultations.
Savor the experience of savings at Yates Chance Christian Bookstore. Right now they have the Hunter's Cookbook, the best recipes if you're a hunter. They also have the My Media Burn Bar, ebook capability, all this at Yates Chance Christian Bookstore.
And you can save as much as 50% on the Hydro Master Tire, new to Coleman, available at People's Tires on Catherine Street. It's a remold tire that looks like new.
Deb's Bookstore, your hometown bookstore just down the road. New books are 20% off every day. She does have gift certificates available. Browsers are always welcome at Deb's Bookstore.
And those are some of the merchant ads we have for today. Today's question is about Earl's Body Shop. They have a website, and we mentioned it on the ad. What is the web address for Earl's Body Shop? First person with the correct answer receives the assorted bag of apples from Steel Orchard. And by the way, they have, I don't know if they still have Pink Lady apples or not. If they do, get some.
You like Pink Ladies,
they
huh?
are awesome. And I think some of the best apples come out late in the year. They start picking some varieties in July, but some of the best of them are September and October apples.
I think it's the weather and things like that might make a
so.
difference. Yeah, the climate, whatever.
And of course, also you get the day pass to the Wellness and Aquatic Center. Those are the prizes, and we have a caller ready to go. There we go. Hello, who's calling?
Tim.
Hi, Tim. From where are you calling?
Coleman.
Okay, what's the web address for Earl's Body Shop?
It's earlsbodyshop.com.
Pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Way to go. Stay on the line, please. earlsbodyshop.com. Check them out on the internet. Of course, we're on the internet too, channel2coleman.com.
That's right.
Let's look at the rest of our merchant ads right now. And this time we have the Wellness and Aquatic Center, where they have all sorts of fitness opportunities, let you get in shape and stay in shape. Day passes are available, but save some money and buy a membership.
Sweet deals are available at Dairy Queen. Look at that, any three for just $4.44. And the Pumpkin Pie Blizzard of the month for October and mudslides are just $1.99. All this at Dairy Queen.
High Tide Sports Grill announces that, of course, they are open Saturday. Matter of fact, they stay open until the football game ends.
Oh.
And with Alabama playing at 7:30 Saturday night, that's going to be a late night.
I bet it is. Hansville Guns and Ammo, of course, where prices are lower on a wide variety of guns, ammo, reloading supplies. All this available. See Paul or Stephen Harper on the corner across from Hansville City Hall at Hansville Guns and Ammo.
Open the door to history and fine prints. This is Renard's Gallery and Gifts, an art gallery, a gift store, a jewelry store. Custom framing is available. Matter of fact, we had a couple of items framed the other day. Dennis does an outstanding job.
Cosmic Sound DJ Entertainment with over 26 years in the DJ entertainment business. They're your wedding DJ specialist based right here in Coleman. Give them a call or visit them on the web.
It's time for Halloween fun at It's My Party. Judy was on our program on Monday showing some of the costumes that they have available. They're costumes for all ages, all sizes.
And there's Baldwin Counseling Center. We're talking about Dr. Howard Rogers. If you have a problem, you need to talk, you can address all kinds of things like weight loss, individual and family counseling. Give him a call.
Mullins Body Shop, Highway 31 South at Phelan, 52 years. They've been doing auto body repair and towing. As always, you can count on them today. That's Mullins Body Shop. And those are the merchant ads we have for today. And we don't have any birthdays to talk about, but we'll give away our birthday prize on Friday.
Right. We had a lot on Tuesday, so those people on Tuesday still have that opportunity to win an 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
And the weather brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. A beautiful sunny day today with a high near 79. Clear tonight, low of 52. Sunny again tomorrow with a high of 78.
At Premier Bank, we're a bit old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. And I humbly ask the voters of Coleman County to please look at my record. Look at the things that I've accomplished during this term in office. And to please consider voting for me as I seek re-election in November of 2012. Thank you so much for your consideration.
And we're back once again. Paige Harbison is with me today, of course, and we've been doing crafts all month long.
That's right.
And so actually this is one that Paige kind of picked out of a magazine.
Yes,
so Miss
that's
Paige,
right.
tell me what we've got going on.
This is called a mumpkin, what we're going to make today. And pay attention, everyone, because this is something that you can even carry over into next month, into like the Thanksgiving time.
Sure.
So all that you need for this is a pumpkin and some mums. Now, of course, my mums are a little... you would want to put them in a pot, of course, but I could not find a pot small enough to fit my pumpkin. So what I did was I went ahead and stuffed my pumpkin, and we're just going to sit the mums in it for today. But that's not what you would usually do. Also, I want to brag on this. I bought a little pumpkin carving kit a few weeks ago, and I want to brag on this little pumpkin scooper because it solves so many of your like I didn't have to touch pumpkin guts at all. It was wonderful.
No pumpkin guts.
No pumpkin guts. No. So all that you need for this is pumpkin mums and this beautiful fall ribbon that Miss Jacqueline has brought for us. So all you're really going to do, of course, when you get the pumpkin, you want to go ahead and gut it and cut the little hole in the top. Make the hole. You would also need a flower pot when you're doing this on your own. You'd want to actually plant the mums so that they don't die quickly.
Right.
This is just for television.
Right.
So you would just stick your flower pot in the pumpkin after you cut them. Hole out. So all we're going to do is we're just going to stick these mums in there and let them stick out just a little bit. Oh, that's a big one. Okay.
Yeah. We're just going to fill it with these.
And it's like a little flower pot of mums.
And of course, like she said, if you can find a small enough little container of mums and a large enough pumpkin, then you would just stick your whole container in there, and that way your mums would last you and they won't die on you and stuff. So, but for, like you said, for this purpose, we're just kind of stuffing this in there. And that way you can water your mums, you can keep them, for a while.
And also, I heard that if you spray some bleach in the bottom of your pumpkin, before you do this, bugs are not going to get in, mold is not going to come into your pumpkin. So if you do that before, and this is such a great little decoration for your outside on your porch. You could do tons of these. Yeah. And this cost me $10.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yes, the mums and pumpkin, $10.
Okay. Very good.
Glover's.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, we went to Glover's.
Just a cheap little
good
thing
deal
that we can do. Also, another thing that is a cheap little idea to do for Halloween, we're going to make little popcorn bags. This would be a great thing to give to trick-or-treaters. I've just got some little mini popcorn bags, some black ribbon, some white paper bags, and that's all it really takes. Oh, and glue, I guess, to glue our eyes on.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the top of this in kind of a round shape. So we're just going to kind of round it out here. Okay? So it's going to look like this on the top. And then just open this bag up.
And you just got like a package of these bags.
Yes, and they were like $1
yeah.
each. Okay. So, and then get our little eyes out. measure for some eyes, Miss Jacqueline.
All right. I get 2 eyes?
You get 2 eyes. And this Elmer's glue, we used it in another project, and it actually holds pretty well with these eyes, even though they're plasticky on the back.
Okay.
But they actually hold really well.
Okay.
So I'm going to glue some eyes right here. And this is such a fun project for kids to do, too. I think this may even be cheaper than buying a bunch of Halloween candy and putting it out, giving it away.
Yeah, pop you some popcorn, and there we go.
Okay. Maybe I can get this open. Oh, I have to use your scissors, my goodness.
Yep. And did you bring over the hole puncher?
Yes.
Okay.
It actually fell onto the floor.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to let my little eyeballs kind of dry a little bit so they don't slide down. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to open up this popcorn.
So we are going to fill our bags.
I got mostly duds in here.
I'm sorry.
Our popcorn didn't do so good.
I'll share some popcorn with you, Miss Jacqueline. Or you could even fill these with that candy mixture that we made a couple weeks ago with the candy corn and the peanuts and the raisins.
Yeah.
You could really fill these with anything that you like.
Right.
So
and especially if you have maybe grandchildren or somebody like that you kind of wanted to really, here, I'll move this out of the way as well. Well, I tell you what, I am going to take some of yours because mine's pretty empty.
I'm going to punch a hole in the top of this here, at the very top, right in the middle, and then we're going to tie a ribbon through it.
You're probably going to need 2 holes because you're going to need for your ribbon to kind of loop through. So let's do that. How about that? Is that okay?
That sounds wonderful.
Here.
Ah.
So you can...
Yes.
Yep. And I wasn't thinking we've tied these into bows and we really don't need to do that just yet. So we're going to take this and just loop it through. Or you probably could, if you want to, glue the things on. But this way, they might stay on a little bit better. And let's see if I can tie a bow backwards. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to do this way. But we're going to tie this little bow on this with this ribbon. And I just got that little curling ribbon, but if you had regular, like a little piece of satin, little black satin ribbon, whatever, that would be kind of cool too. There you go. Okay. And I guess if you wanted to, what you could do is punch the holes together, and that would keep your bags closed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So that if you wanted to keep your bags closed for some reason, you could. But look how cute those are.
Yes,
just real
precious.
quick and simple to do. And my eyeballs are up there a little too far, aren't they? Mine are, well, they got character. What can I say? Definitely got character.
So there are our little ghost bags of popcorn that you can give out for trick-or-treat.
Yeah, good. The pumpkin thing, you can do a different variety of different things with pumpkins.
Yes. Oh,
you can scoop them out and use them as a soup tureen. If you wanted to make pumpkin soup or any kind of soup, really, and just make sure you wash it very carefully, but scoop it out. And then I'm interested, what did you do with the pumpkin seeds?
The pumpkin seeds, I didn't do anything with them this time. Okay. Usually, sometimes I'll melt some brown sugar cinnamon and glaze them with. I've done Cajun spice before, and sometimes I just salt them and butter them and salt them.
And you bake them in the oven?
I bake them in the oven, usually about 8 minutes, and I flip them and bake them for 8 more minutes.
Okay.
So they're crisp. I like them really crisp.
Right. And pumpkin seeds are great. They're a good, nutritious type of little snack, a quick little snack that you would... So, you're using the pumpkin, the insides and stuff. Now, do you make pumpkin pies?
I've never made a pumpkin pie before.
Okay. I usually buy canned pumpkin because really scraping out the pumpkin and stuff, it's just... I'm lazy. So I don't want to have to go to all that trouble.
It's very messy. Yeah.
And it is. And you have to cook it and everything. So I just buy the canned pumpkin. But if you wanted to, you could, use all of the pumpkin by, actually taking the pumpkin part out and using it and cooking it down and making your pumpkin pie.
Right.
I love the flavoring of pumpkin, and right now, because it is the fall, you can find it in coffees, and you can find it in creamers, and you can find it, of course, in pumpkins, in desserts, squares, pumpkin pie. It used to be, pumpkin pie was about all you got. But I guess the people that are producing the pumpkins want to sell more pumpkins, so they become creative.
Right.
And so they, devised all kinds of different recipes. And I know that even I have a little cookbook that I got one year from the First Baptist Church in the Vinemont area. And they have the pumpkin patch, and they were selling a cookbook, and there are all kinds of recipes. Pumpkin bread, pumpkin soup, So pumpkin's a very good, versatile type of, I guess it's a vegetable. I guess
so.
Yeah.
I think it would fall under the same category as a gourd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But you can actually eat this. You don't eat the gourds, right?
Right.
So, yeah. So, anyway, there's all kinds of things to do, and you can be creative if you don't, once again, don't want to put mums in them. Maybe you have something else that you want to put in them. So it's a good, and of course it's grown and it's harvested in the fall. So I guess, and it's so much color. It's just the beautiful fall colors and everything. So really like the color of the pumpkins and like the gourds and things like that. And if you don't want to cut it, just buy one and stick it out front, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's beautiful, too.
Yeah.
Or paint them like we did a few weeks ago.
Right.
There's so many things that you can do. Also, remember, spraying bleach in the bottom of your pumpkin. That is going to solve your problems.
Okay.
Mold, bugs, nothing will get in there.
Good. I never heard that, so that's a good tip. And I just want to tell everybody, next week we're going to kind of like have a little Halloween party.
Yes.
And we'll bring back most of this stuff, kind of show you all the different little crafts that we've made all month long. And hopefully, you can enjoy some time with your children or grandchildren and just have some fun time. Quick and easy little things to do. All right. Paige, thanks for helping me. I appreciate it. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
That is so
cute. Hearing that I have here in Coleman County is a step-parent adoption. It's a very happy day when I get to sign the papers and make official, make legal what occurred in the heart of that step-parent the day he or she became the loving parent. Those important decisions happen each and every day for me as probate judge.
The Coleman County Republican Party urges you to vote Republican from the White House to the courthouse, November 6th. The Republican candidates include Mitt Romney for president, Roy Moore for Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court, Twinkle Cavanaugh for president of the Alabama Public Service Commission, Lisa McSwain for Coleman County Circuit Clerk, and Tammy Brown for Coleman County Probate Judge. Remember, vote Republican November 6th. This ad paid for by the Coleman County Republican Party.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Now it's time for our community billboards brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. Women's Ministry Annual Fall Bazaar will be taking place on Saturday, October the 27th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's at the Welty Cumberland Presbyterian Church Fellowship Hall, and all proceeds benefit CPWM missions and projects. Monster Dash 5K and Monster Mile will take place on Saturday as well at the Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center. And of course they'll have costumes and a contest, door prizes for all winners. And the Pilot Club rummage sale will be taking place at the Coleman Fairgrounds Exhibit Hall on Friday, August the 26th, October the 26th from 7 to 4, and Saturday, October the 27th from 7 to 2. Steel Orchard is presenting the return of the Boogeyman's Barn, and this is family friendly. It's going to be on Friday, October the 26th through the 27th, and Halloween night. And Mount Olive Church Christmas Bazaar will take place on Saturday, November the 3rd from 8 until 3 p.m. at the Fairview Town Hall. And Holly Pond Centennial 5K race will be taking place at the Lions Club Park in Holly Pond starting Saturday, November the 3rd at 8 a.m. And Joseph, the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat will take place with the Wallace State Theater. And, of course, that's going to be on November the 1st and the 2nd at 7 p.m. And on November the 3rd and 4th at 2 p.m. It is $10 for adults, $5 for students and children. It's a musical comedy that tells the biblical story of Joseph. The First Methodist Holiday Bazaar will be on Thursday, November the 8th at 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Breakfast is served from 7 to 9. Lunch is served from 11 to 1. Crafts, sewing, candy, and baked items are for sale. Garden City Elementary School Fall Carnival will take place on Friday, October the 26th from 3:30 until. Live auction begins at 6:30. There will be games, food, fun, and much, much more. And, of course, you can visit us on the web at go to channel2coleman.com, and we are streaming live online. All community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. And, of course, if you want to, you can send us one via email. That's channel2coleman@gmail.com. Fax it to 256-734-7680. Or be a friend on Facebook, Channel 2, and spell out the number 2 Coleman. And today's weather is going to be sunny, high near 79. Tonight it's going to be clear, low around 52. And tomorrow sunny, breezy, and high near 78. All right, I want to thank Paige for helping me out today. We did a great little job. Cute little pumpkin. I love the pumpkins. And, of course, we want to thank you for watching today on 2. We hope you join us again tomorrow.